My brother Tony was the ultimate protector. When I was 10, some goons tried to snatch him. I ended up in their car instead. They got their ransom, but not before they'd carved up my face and broken both my legs. Tony went ballistic. He took over the family business, Dad's organization if you catch my drift, and built it into something huge. I became his world, his untouchable treasure. Someone laughed at my scars. Tony shoved his head into a trash bag full of rats, let them chew his face to a bloody mess. Some wise guy badmouthed my limp. Tony ran a freaking steamroller over his legs, turned M to hamburger. Tony was the boogeyman of the whole damn tri-state area. But he treated me like I was made of spun gold. He spent a fortune sending me overseas for reconstructive surgery, physical therapy, and a fancy college education. Right before graduation, I got a wedding invitation from Tony. He was all excited, said I was going to have a sister-in-law to spoil me rotten. He even sent a picture of the lucky lady. But the second I walked into the house, his fiancée, this ice queen named Brittany, busted in with a crew of muscleheads. She thought I was Tony's kept woman from overseas and decided to teach me a lesson. Tony showed up mid-beatdown. Brittany pointed at me lying on the floor and wailed, "Am I not good enough for you, Tony? Choose. Her or me." Tony's eyes went dark. "You got more lives than a cat." Bang. The patio door shattered, and a bunch of bruisers barged in looking like they were ready to start a war. I gasped, then recognized the woman leading them. Brittany, my soon-to-be sister-in-law from the photos Tony sent. Before I could even say hello, she swung a freaking baseball bat straight into my face. Pain exploded in my nose, and warm liquid trickled down. Blood. A sucker punch like that sent my head swimming. "There you are, you little gold digger. Thought you could hide out in Europe forever. Didn't think you'd ever come back to mooch off Tony's money." Brittany screamed. She raised the bat again, aiming for my head and body. I scrambled back, shielding my head, tripping over the rug, and landing on my butt. "You've got it all wrong. She shoved the bat in my mouth, twisted it. Pain ripped through my gums and teeth, and the taste of blood filled my throat. I choked and spat out a mouthful of red. "Wrong my ass. Don't think I don't know you conned Tony into buying you this mansion. You think I am stupid? You know I'm marrying Tony and you come back. Trying to steal him from me." She kicked me in the ribs, sending me sprawling. My head smacked against the edge of the coffee table, cracking it open. I was furious and terrified. Gulping down the blood, I blurted out, "You really have the wrong idea. I'm Tony's sister." "A sister?" Like a good little nun. But Brittany laughed sarcastically. One of her goons leaned in and whispered, "I did hear the boss had a sister out of the country, but nobody's ever seen her." Something about the accident. Brittany's sneer at my face. "Sister my ass. She doesn't look anything like Tony." Just then a woman walked in. Tony's right-hand woman. Frankie. She's been with Tony forever. She'd recognize me. "Frankie, help me. It's me, Amy." Frankie did a double take. "Who the hell is this? How does she know me?" Frankie was hesitant, but before I could finish, Brittany smacked me hard across the mouth with a bat. Again, I clutched my bleeding mouth, unable to speak. Just a little tart who heard us talking, trying to get a leg up. Frankie shook her head. "No, she said she was Amy. Only family calls her that. This doesn't make sense." She hurried to me, grabbed my face, studying me hard. "Doesn't look like Tony's sister." My heart sank. This was my new face, the one she hadn't seen. Wait a minute. She got major surgery in Europe, didn't she? Changed her whole face. Frankie finally put it together. I nodded like a maniac, hoping desperately that she'd understand. "Yes, I'm his sister, Amy." Brittany waved her hand. "A surgery? Every chick who wants a meal ticket has that. Don't be gullible." Frankie held up a hand to stop her. "Faces can be fake. IDs can be fake. Let's find out who this really is." Two of Brittany's thugs grabbed me, ready to search me. I struggled, and she slapped me. "Hold still. You tie her up." They bound my hands. Since the accident, Tony never let anyone touch me, and he would have their hands hacked off if he saw this. Frankie was still cautious. Why beat her up this bad? What if she really is his sister? Brittany smiled weakly and offered her a cigarette. "Relax. We're getting married. He will forgive me for being protective." Frankie nodded, taking the cigarette. "True." They grabbed my wallet. Brittany snatched it open and laughed. "See? I knew it." Frankie peered over her shoulder and said, "Jennifer Smith." Then she flipped to my college ID. "Jennifer Smith, not Amy." My heart went ice cold. After the accident, Tony had my name and records changed, even moving the address of where I lived. He hadn't told anyone. I wasn't a Smith. I was supposed to be Amy Costello, and I was his baby sister. Frankie's eyes hardened. You tried to con us. Get her. They threw me on the floor, fists flying. My phone fell out of my pocket. When the screen lit up, Frankie saw my wallpaper. Her face changed in an instant.
Wait, it was a picture of two and me.
Frankie trembled as she picked it up. This your phone? I nodded so hard I thought my head would fall off. Brittany rolled her eyes. It's just a picture. She probably photoshopped it trying to fool us. I tried to show Frankie my texts. She unlocked my phone with my face, opening my text with Tony. Her contact name for Tony is Bro, Frankie exclaimed, shocked. Brittany grabbed my phone. Every tart calls the big guy bro to get in his wallet. Don't believe her. She scrolled again, and her face turned red with rage. He bought you a mansion. He calls you baby. He says he never wants to be apart from you. Like I said, a good little whore. But she doesn't know her place. Tony loved me since the attack. He never wanted me to go overseas again. Ever since, no one touched me. But here I was, being beaten by his fiancée, unable to call for help. My heart broke and I sobbed and Frankie frowned. She's got the princess thing down. Let's double check. Maybe he's nuts about his sister. If this is her, we're screwed. Brittany agreed. Fine. I'll call him. If she is Tony's sister, fine. But if she ain't, her face went ugly. She's gonna regret the day she was born. She ordered her goons to gag me and called Tony. Hey babe, you said your sister was coming for the wedding. What day is she flying in? I want to get her a present, so I can welcome her. Tony answered. She's flying in tomorrow night. A chill ran down my spine. I changed my flight to surprise Tony. And I was here now. Brittany glared at me. If she hung up, it was over. I bit down on my gag as hard as I could. The goon yelped and let go. Tony, help me. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Brittany's face went white. She kicked me, putting her heel on my mouth. That's just the TV, my love. Amy comes tomorrow night. The phone went dead, and I felt hope fade. Her heel ground into my mouth harder and harder. Bitch trying to screw me. I almost believed you. Her eyes met mine, filled with jealousy. He already decided to marry me, but he still bought you a house. I will make you hurt. She pulled back her leg. The boss always takes care of his women. Since he likes her, let's let her live. You'll be his wife, and he'll pay her money. Frankie agreed. You can be the boss, and he will have some fun. I wanted to curse them. How could they think Tony and I would ever have something beyond a brother and sister? I hated Brittany for thinking that she was everything Tony always warned me about. Once I saw him, I would make him call off the wedding. Brittany saw the rage in my eyes and exploded. You want to mess with me? I will make you hurt. She grabbed a knife and slashed my face.
No.
I screamed in pain, but Brittany didn't stop. When you're ugly, Tony will only love me. Each cut was like being stabbed in the gut. It took 3 years of surgery to make my face right again. And she was going to ruin it. You're dead. I whispered and Brittany laughed.
Screw you, bitch.
She sliced my lips and I felt them split open. Brittany pulled back the knife. She stepped back and I heard a voice. Boss, what are you doing here? It was Tony. Tony was here. I struggled to get up, but my legs gave out. Brittany kicked me in the knees with the iron bar, and my legs failed. Frankie panicked, telling her to hide me. If he sees you, he'll kill you. Brittany and the goons dragged me to the kitchen. No sooner had they shut the sliding door than Tony walked in. I told you to get the house fixed up. Where is everything? I just got here. The stuff's in the car. Frankie rushed out to unload the car, and Tony looked around. Yeah, he likes the place. Is this the kitchen? Tony asked the designer and grabbed the door. I saw his outline through the glass and tears burst out.
Tony, you have to save me.
You. He slowly opened the door. His face changed when he saw Brittany and me. He opened the door slowly. His face changed when he saw Marina and me. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. Marina, still holding the knife, her face twisted in a mix of fury and satisfaction. Me, on the floor, my face covered in blood, feeling the cuts burn like fire, my legs useless after the hit with the iron bar. Tony's eyes darkened. What the fuck is this? His voice was low, almost a whisper, but so full of rage that it sent a chill down my spine. Marina immediately dropped the knife as if it burned her and raised her hands in a gesture of false innocence. Tony, baby, this isn't what it looks like. But Tony didn't even glance at her. His eyes were locked on me. I could barely speak. My mouth was swollen, my lips split, my throat filled with blood. I tried to say his name, but all that came out was a weak, broken sound. Frankie and the other thugs stood frozen, unsure whether to run or stay and watch hell unfold. Tony moved forward slowly, each step echoing in the silent kitchen. He knelt beside me, his fingers trembling as he touched my face. Amy? I barely nodded because any movement sent a wave of searing pain through my entire body. Tony closed his eyes for a moment, as if trying to hold something back. When he opened them again, there was no more doubt, only fury. He stood up abruptly, and without warning, his fist crashed into Marina's face. She fell to the floor with a strangled cry, clutching her now bloody mouth. Tony, I don't understand. That bitch tried to fool you. Fool me? Tony's voice was almost gentle, but I knew what that meant. It was the same voice he used before unloading an entire clip into the face of the man who kidnapped me when I was 10. Marina scrambled backward, trying to put distance between them. She said she was your sister, but she didn't look like you. We couldn't take any risks. Tony ran a hand through his hair, taking a deep breath like he was trying to keep himself in check. And that justified this? He asked, tilting his head toward me. Frankie, who had been silent until now, took a hesitant step forward. Boss, we made a mistake. She changed her face after the accident. We didn't know. You didn't know? Tony let out a hollow laugh. So, because you didn't recognize my sister, you decided to beat her half to death? Tony, please, Marina whimpered, tears spilling from her eyes. Shut up, he said, his voice sharp as a blade. Marina sobbed, but no one moved to help her. Frankie looked down. Everyone in the room knew they were screwed. Tony bent down again, lifting me in his arms with more care than I thought possible. My body screamed in protest, and I let out a weak, pained sound. You're gonna be okay, Amy, he murmured, his voice soft, completely at odds with the fury in his eyes. But I wasn't okay. I had never been more broken in my life. Tony gently placed me in a chair. Then he straightened up, scanning the room. Close the door, he ordered. One of his men rushed to obey. Marina started crying harder. Tony, no. Please. But he didn't even flinch. His gaze turned to Frankie. Who else do I need to bury today? Frankie raised her hands, stepping back. Boss, we messed up. Messed up? Tony's voice turned even colder. And what would have happened if I hadn't shown up? Frankie didn't answer. Tony looked back at Marina. You love me, don't you? You wanted to protect me? She nodded frantically. Yes. I just wanted to make sure no one took advantage of you. Tony tilted his head, as if considering her words. Then tell me, Marina. His voice dropped to a whisper. How should I protect myself from you? Marina's sobs turned into desperate screams. Tony, please, I love you. We're getting married. Tony smiled, but his smile was empty. No, we're not. And without hesitation, he pulled out his gun. Marina screamed, but her cry was cut off by the gunshot. Blood splattered against the wall, the floor, my shoes. Her body crumpled to the ground like a broken doll. Frankie and the others turned pale. Does anyone else have something to explain? Tony asked, wiping his blood-stained hands with a napkin. No one spoke. Good. Then he turned to me. Let's go home, Amy. I wanted to tell him that home didn't exist anymore. That everything I had been through had broken me in ways he couldn't fix. But I didn't have the strength to speak. Tony carried me in his arms and walked out of the house, leaving behind the chaos, the blood, the past. I closed my eyes and let the pain consume me. Tony carried me out of the house, and the world around me seemed to spin. The pain in my face throbbed, my legs were useless, and the metallic taste of blood in my mouth was almost unbearable. But none of that compared to what I felt inside. Rage. Betrayal. Hatred. He placed me in the back seat of the car as carefully as possible, as if I were made of glass. But I wasn't fragile anymore. Not after this. You're going to be okay, Amy, he said, his voice rough, almost like a promise. But how could I be okay? My own sister-in-law had nearly destroyed me, and the only reason I was still breathing was because Tony had arrived in time. What if he had been 5 minutes late? I would have just been another mistake to cover up. Frankie and the thugs stayed behind. I didn't need to ask what Tony would do with them. Anyone who betrayed his trust never got a second chance. The car sped off, and I rested my head against the window, feeling the cuts burn even more. "They're going to pay," Tony said after several minutes of silence. I laughed, but my mouth ached. "They already have. Marina has been exposed." Marina was just the beginning. I looked at him, feeling my heartbeat quicken. "What else are you going to do?" Tony didn't answer immediately. His fingers gripped the steering wheel, his eyes fixed on the road. "Do you want justice, Amy?" I wanted something bigger. "I want everyone who knew about this to suffer." My voice came out cold. Tony smirked. "Then you're going to love what I have planned." I should have felt guilty. Any normal person would. But I wasn't a normal person anymore. The following weeks were a blur of recovery and revenge. Tony put me in the best hospital in the city, with top-tier doctors and nurses taking care of me 24/7. But he didn't sit around waiting. While I was stuck in bed, everyone involved in my attack started to feel the consequences. Marina's thugs? Fired from every job even remotely connected to Tony's organization. None of them could find work anywhere in the city. Anyone who tried to help them received a clear message: if you protect a traitor, you pay for it. Frankie tried to flee the city, but Tony caught her first. I never touched her. Frankie screamed when Tony placed her in front of me. I was still in a wheelchair, but my expression was nothing but pure disdain. "But you watched." My voice was low, but filled with contempt.
And you doubted me.
Tony stood still, waiting for my decision. "What do we do with her?" he asked. I looked at Frankie, seeing the fear in her eyes. She knew she had no way out. "I'm not a monster, Frankie," I said. "But you knew what they were doing to me. And you stayed silent." She opened her mouth to beg, but Tony motioned with his head. "You're out. No one will ever trust you again. You'll never work in this city again." She turned to Tony, desperate. "You can't take everything from me." Tony leaned in slightly. "You took everything from my sister. I'd say this is fair." Frankie left, but not before hearing my final words. I hope it was worth it. Days passed, and news of what Marina had done spread. We didn't need to do anything but let her deal with the consequences. Her reputation was ruined. The wedding was officially canceled, and everyone knew why. She tried to fix things, claimed it was all a misunderstanding, but no one wanted to be associated with someone who had attacked the wrong person. And then, when I was finally strong enough to leave the hospital, Tony made sure to give me something special. "This is yours," he said, handing me an envelope. I opened it and saw the ownership papers for the mansion. My name was on the document. "But you spent years away, Amy. You lost so much. This house, this money, it's not a gift. It's what was always yours." I sighed, holding the document. Tony would never let anyone take anything from me again. And when I finally returned to that house, I found no more ghosts. Marina was gone. The traitors had fallen. And me? I was stronger than ever. No one really knows how much of what Tony said was true. All I know is that none of the people involved that night were ever seen again. No trace of Marina, Frankie, or the thugs who hurt me. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. I asked Tony multiple times what had happened. He never gave me a clear answer. He would just give me that cold, unreadable look and say, "You don't need to know. You just need to know that you're safe now." I was supposed to feel relieved, right? To know that they would never have the chance to hurt me again. But it unsettled me. It felt like a part of my own story had been erased without my control. And Tony became even more protective after that night. At first, I understood. He had almost lost me. Of course, he would be on edge. But what started as concern quickly became suffocating. I couldn't go anywhere without him knowing. There were always bodyguards following me, even when I told him I didn't need them. I couldn't take a taxi alone, travel without his approval, or even go shopping without one of his men lurking nearby like a shadow. I tried to ignore it. I told myself he was just looking out for me. But over time, I realized it was more than that. It was control. And the worst part? It extended to who I let into my life. If I started dating someone, Tony would dig into their entire background, where they lived, who they worked with, if they had any past issues. If he didn't like what he found, and he never liked what he found, those men simply disappeared from my life. At first, I thought it was coincidence. Then I realized the truth. Tony was pushing them away. "You deserve better, Amy. They weren't good enough for you. And who decides that? I do." That was the moment I understood. No matter how much time passed, to Tony, I would never stop being his untouchable sister, the little girl he needed to protect from the world. But I wasn't a little girl anymore. I had recovered. I was walking again. My face no longer looked the same, and all I wanted was one thing: to live. But Tony couldn't accept that. And that's when I realized there was no place for me in the life he was trying to build for me. If I wanted freedom, I had to take it for myself. And so I did. It took me months to plan everything. I couldn't just walk away and expect him to accept it. I had to be strategic. So little by little, I started pulling away. I made friends outside his circle, saved money in an account he couldn't track, and when the day came, I left. No messages, no calls, no traces. I simply disappeared. I took a flight to a place where Tony had no influence over my life. For the first few days, he tried to find me. He called endlessly, sent messages, even showed up at my old house. But I wasn't there. He sent his men to track me down, but this time, I was ready. I hid in places he couldn't reach me. And for the first time in his life, Tony had to accept that I was gone. I never hated him. Deep down, I knew he believed he was protecting me. But what he never understood was that protecting me didn't mean locking me up. I just wanted to be free. And now, finally, I was